Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this picture perfect Sunday afternoon as we cure the Belmont Blues today with a 10 race card. Brian and Samantha with you. I hope everybody enjoyed Belmont Stakes Day. Brian, it was probably a very tiring day for everybody up in New York, but the Triple Crown is now behind us. Very cool to see the outcome.
Yeah, the Fountain of Youth winner and runner-up in the Curlin Florida Derby. Sovereignty is a clear divisional leader now. We were very fortunate to see him, see him all winter and see him kind of grow up all winter and be right before our eyes, and just keeps on keeping on. The championship meet horses going out of town and delivering a beating on everybody, and it happened at Keeneland, happened on Derby Day, and it keeps on keeping on. So very, very cool. Congratulations to the connections as well.
Yep, absolutely. Just so much fun, and the path to the Triple Crown really does go right behind us here. But today, we've got 10 races on the card. We're going to start things off with an early pick 5. The Rainbow 6 still went unsolved yesterday. Congrats in the nightcap. Brian had the long shot, 150 in that estimated jackpot. The pools will be nice and healthy. We're fast and firm. Brian, you've got the early pick 5 to kick us off.
Yeah, it's a $48 ticket. You'll see some singles, and you'll see some, look at that, 7 through 13. So in race number 2, it's a spread race. I've got the 8 on top, Paez. In race number 3, top pick there is the 4, and that's Sky Baby. Race number 4, I've got the 6 on top and Trace Coronis. And then in race number 5, the single Coco Abario. If she doesn't win, I don't know who is, because she lays over that field. At least to me, that's a $48 early pick 5 ticket, and that second race a real doozy. So we'll try to get some value in there.
All right, I like it. We're starting off on the grass course here. We've got 4 turf races here today. 10 feet are the rails, so same as yesterday here. We do have a clean field of 8 that will go to post, and you started off with the 5. Sizzle, take a look at the replay and you talk about her.
Yeah, I don't know. Sizzle's just better than these horses to me. I mean, the margin's not a big one at all, but Laura Cesaris doesn't claim a lot of horses. She won the nightcap on the turf yesterday at a big price, and this just looks like a really good claim. We get a little bit of a drop here. I know some people are going to say, well, you know what, she was third that day at 7-5. I get that. The winner got loose and not got loose, but was there the whole way, and that's what happens on this turf course. Sizzle kind of paid the price at the wire.
Well, she was tired.
Yeah, she was tired because she was trying to do the hard work to get to the winner. So I just feel like this group today, I'm not seeing a lot in here that's supposed to keep her from the winner's circle.
No, I don't think so either. She's definitely the one to beat here. I don't disagree with the price. And, oh, by the way, she was off a layoff from November to April last time. So that's huge there. Bianca Hart, I thought maybe with this rail setting she would get a nice setup here because she was made up a ton of ground late. To be honest, though, just the way that the grass course played yesterday, they could put the rail at any setting. If you don't have speed, you're done.
No, you have no chance, really. It's just a highway out there, and you can look at her form, she just doesn't have it. She can run on late, but anybody with her kind of running style today on a fast, firm kind of day, rails, regardless of where they are, they're going to be up against it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, race number 2. It is a maiden $12,500 level on the Tapeta track. 5.5 furlongs is the distance here. These are for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 3, Amen, the 4, Valiant Package, and the 6, Hooray for me. And the 14, 15 are out, but 13 does draw in.
Yeah, and I think you got to use her. I popped her in there. I mean, this is a blanket race to me. Somehow we land on the same horse. Paez, if nothing else, first start for Gustavo Amaya. That was a solid third. Last time at this level for 12-5. I don't want to say she's got upside. He's got upside at 0 for 12, but it was a good effort.
Yeah.
I had a heck of a time making a morning line of this race because
they're
all money burners. Look at, you've got Reverend Moon, 90 cents on the dollar. They all have burned a ton of money, and I didn't want any of them on top, and quite frankly, I didn't want to play any of them. Look at Tricky Tiger. At 2-5, he can't win. He can't run second at 2-5 last time. I don't know. These are tough to trust horses.
I don't envy you at all making the line on this race. The 10, which we both have in the mix, Wampanoag Chief. This is a good post position on the cutback, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll be favored. He should be favored. It's Orsino. It's Edgard. What a meet Joe is having. It's a stiff drop back on the Tapeta. He certainly doesn't want to be a router, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
And he ran well for half the race routing. So, I think he's the one in here, but you don't have to trust him at all.
No, and I think if you like the 13, you kind of have to like Showboat as well, right?
Yeah, I don't listen. My pick is the horse I dislike the least.
That's
right?
so fair. Yeah, this race, there's so many ways you could go.
Bernardo's Legacy, the horse that draws in. Do not sleep on him. He ran a very good fourth behind Showboat and Tricky Tiger last time.
Yeah, and in that horse, he looked like a winner for a minute.
He sure did.
For a couple seconds at least. So, yeah, very, very tough race in the early pick 4 to get things going. And Brian will tweet out that ticket. Now, race number 3. 12-5 non-winners at 2 lifetime on the fast main track here. It's 6 furlongs. The distance, a field of 7. Both of us on the 4. Sky Baby. We'll look at the replay because Sky Baby and Five Eyes on Michelle both tangled. Sky Baby ran exceptionally well.
Yeah, I really thought so too, because you can see her right here getting kind of nagged by the winner. The winner's the 8, Wink of an Eye, who she's being pressed on from the inside the entire way. So that's you're right up already. You're up against it trip-wise, but she's going to gut this out and finish second. Now she's 2 lengths behind the winner, but she was way, way clear of Five Eyes on Michael. And if she can't get by in this spot and can't get 4 lengths within Sky Baby, well, it's not happening.
No, I agree. And she was in her left lead, tiring late. But the thing with her is she had only had 1 start since a pretty long layoff.
Yeah.
And that was on the Tapeta. And I always feel like you don't have to be 100% fit to run on the Tapeta. I think this is now the race you want to go off
Yeah, and she's drawn perfectly. I think the one Elagio is probably a little faster, and that's perfect, actually, because then she can be on the outside. It should, in theory at least, and races aren't run on paper, it'll be the exact opposite of what you just saw. She's going to be on the outside, 2-path pressing or chasing.
That's what it looks like, how it's going to shake out. Now, race 4 is a very interesting race. Before we head to the break before the Rainbow Six, we do have a middle pick. Well, okay, yeah, that's interesting because on the early print it didn't have it.
There
That's
it is.
Okay. So Ron has got this. He's been knocking it out of the park here.
Yeah, Ronnie hit this one yesterday, right?
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
He mentioned that. He's at 4 deep in race 5. No singles for Ron.
Yeah.
In race number 6, he doesn't have my best bet, the 8. So that is my favorite topic. And then 2 deep in race 7. So there you go. It's a competitive ticket. It's competitive racing today. I thought there were very few spots where maybe you can anchor.
Right. I agree. 6 furlongs on the dirt for these 3-year-old maidens here. And on the fast track, the 6 for you, Trace Coronas. We'll look at the replay. I'll let you talk about it. Blinkers go on in the second start.
Yeah, so this horse has been working up an absolute storm in the morning. Lasix goes on as well. I'll let you talk about what you're seeing here, because these are essentially bullets here. I know this May 21st drill doesn't have a bullet by it, but it was
quick.
And this one is too.
Yep, absolutely. And when you're working like this across the main track, I love that this horse is working locally. This horse has clearly grown up quite a bit, just especially from the 2 to 3, which is what you want to see, especially with these win-win-wins. They're not very big in body size, but it looks like he's really filled out. Hey, oh, by the way, Iron Hand, who he finished in front of in his debut race last year, has rattled off 4 consecutive wins now.
He's a new horse routing on Tapeta.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
Yep. So that's just some food for thought. This is going to be a very, very tough horse. You've got the 3 in the mix, and I'm glad you do, because when I saw this horse, this horse was entered on the grass for the first time, and my notes were, why wouldn't they not put this horse on the dirt? But then it was scratched, and then they put this horse on the dirt. Just throw out that race. It wasn't a good one. They gelded him. He was very, very heavy, especially like at the sale when I watched him. He was so heavy. But now he's cut, and I like the fact that he has that closing kick, and I think that, well, I hope so at least. I don't know. At Tampa, he pressed, but I feel like he picked up horses nicer on his debut. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't shock me if he's in front in here. It wouldn't shock me if they bet this horse either. I probably should have made him a little lower than 8. I don't know if he's any good, to be perfectly honest with you. He looks like a Morning Glory kind of horse. Gerald Bennett's obviously as sharp as there is, and he's going to win races here. The gelding,
Good.
I don't know. He was pretty bad at Tampa, but I know you like the gelding angle, and that could be it. He's worked huge at Palm Meadows since. I hope you can at least get 4 or 5 to 1 on this horse.
Skellig Michael was my long shot a couple weeks ago, and he was scratched on the rail. Drew the rail again today, but I wanted to show a stat with Battalion Runner, Brian, because this is so good.
Yeah. This is a tote board horse, okay?
Yep.
You got to watch it here. They paid 17, and Battalion Runner, to be fair, only stands for 2,500. So actually, they paid quote unquote a lot of money for this horse at 17,000. It's great to see a Misil here. That's the guy for Victor. The rail is no good.
No.
Victor is, very quietly. Victor. This is actually a little surprising to me. Very quietly, Victor's up to 17% with first-time starters. I feel like
surprising.
Yeah, I feel like a year ago that would have been 9 or 10%.
Yeah.
So. Listen, this is a top barn. These are top connections. This is a tricky post.
It is. He worked 21-4 at the sale, so I get the price tag of 17,000. So it wasn't very fast. He's not a very big horse at all. I'm curious to see. Well, I'll take a good look at him today, but I hope he grew up some. We'll just have to see. And like you said, watch the tote board as well.
Without a doubt.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we have Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow 6, 150 in that estimated pool. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you. Ron Nicoletti will be out for the opener. The gang is all here. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, Brian. We're just so blessed to be able to be somewhere that, yes, it is hot, but it's a beautiful day. We get to talk about horses all day long, and we got the Rainbow 6.
Yep.
$150,000 in that estimated jackpot. I'll let you take us through Ron's ticket.
I'll tell you what, it's a fun sequence. It's a good kickoff with a turf race. Ronnie's going 4 deep. This is a big play for Ronnie, and you see no singles, and that's why this is a little more than the standard 40-ish that Ronnie tosses out. So he's got spreading kind of or certainly in race number 5 to kick it off, and then he's 2 or 3 deep. I want to let everybody know, and of course Liam's upstairs, and what a great job he's been doing this week as well. In race number 10, okay, the 9 is Kryptonym. He was originally scratched. He is running, so please note that. Liam's going to run through all that stuff as well. But if you're putting together late horizontals in race number 10, the 9 Kryptonym is not a scratch. He is running today, so please take note of that. Very, very important.
Okay, thank you for that. That is very key here in the finale. Race 5, as you can see, Ron's Rainbow is way open in the opening leg here, and it starts off 5 furlongs on the turf course.
Yeah.
And it also starts the Tropical Turf Pick 3, which will show my ticket for $36. And I'm singling at the end. My best bet scratch, but I was torn between 2 horses in the finale, and that's where I'm going to land here with Volatile Storm. My best bet was Operation Thunderbolt, but I'm just going to single here with Volatile Storm. And in race number 7, heck, that could be a turf sprint stakes for sure.
That's tricky, right?
Yeah, very, very tough. I have Andy Wish on top of the 7. So we'll see. It's a $36 play, but it's not easy to get out of this one here. 10 feet are the rails, allowance optional claimers. These are fillies, 3-year-olds and upward. 5 furlongs here. The 6 for you, Coco Abadio.
Yeah, I think this is really easy, actually. I would be shocked if she doesn't beat this field. She's never tried turf, I guess.
Yeah.
You can talk more about that. But look at the race she's coming out of.
Huge race.
Off a layoff. Warda, how good is she in that kind of element, okay?
Like, that's like a top Tapeta horse.
Yeah.
Sprinter, and this
Absolutely.
is a 3-year-old that took her on,
Yeah, off a July layoff, by the way,
Yeah.
when she had only run against 2-year-olds. I would be, and again, I know the surface switch. I get it. I'd be very surprised if she doesn't drub this field today.
Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't even matter when it's such a quick footing that it just doesn't matter. Just a filly. Maybe I'm just kind of taking a little bit of a stab here, but Misael will stay aboard. He's won on this gal before. I'm actually not too worried about a Gervin trying the turf sprint. Now, only 7 for 69 this in general, not huge by any means, but like you're kind of doing, this horse has speed, and she's exiting. I mean, Emirates Affair is going to be nothing on Thursday.
She's on Thursday at 7 to 5 on the morning line off the claim. Open company. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
I've said this many, many times. I'm a firm believer that I don't really care about pedigree turf sprinting, especially when
That's
it's
fair.
fast
Yeah, especially
and firm.
when it's so firm out here. Yeah.
If you're going 2 turns, if you're on a demanding course, it's got some give in it, then all bets are off. On a fast, firm turf course, it doesn't. I'm not. That's further down of where I'm looking in terms of who I'm picking in a race.
Well, you cannot convince me to play a game winner turf sprinting with the number 2 here. And we've got a stat from Mark Cassey as well, who, wow, nitrogen. Wow.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Nitrogen was only 0.27 seconds off the time of the Met Mile. Now she beat 2 horses, but man, she was very impressive.
Yeah.
5 in a row, I think, and now she's a main track winner as well. Turf sprints, here you go. 0 for 13. Good to see Mark and the team get a win with a nice-looking 2-year-old. Was that yesterday? Okay, in the opening race yesterday. Hey, listen, I've said this time and time again ad nauseum. Yeah, the barn is not winning races. It's a statement of fact. But when you've run underneath 22, 23 times, you're still running, okay? It's not like he's won 3 and hit the board twice. The horses are running. The wins are going to come.
Yep, okay. I do agree with you there. And Laura Cesaris, I think pop style, if you were spreading, this would be a horse you would use, right?
Well,
You're
listen.
singling, you've got a strong opinion.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing about this race. To kick off a Rainbow Six with $150,000, you're either with me or you're against me. I'd be stunned if Coco Albario loses. If you think she's vulnerable, this is your race to use anybody and blow things up right off the rip. And, in race number 1 of a 6-race sequence.
Race 6, it starts the late pick 5 on this 10-race card, 1.70 miles on the Tapeta, claiming $8,000 level. I have got the ticket. I had trouble with this one here. I'm singling. I kind of had a forced single here. Races 7, 8, and 9 beats me. Race 7, I've got the 7 on top. Race 8, I have the 6 on top. That's Miss San Gabriel. And race number 9, I have the 7 on top. Lure him in. And I'm singling Volatile Storm. I did lose my best bet in that race, but this was a horse I was going back and forth with. So a $32 play, and I'm just going to hope I can get lucky in this opener here of the sequence. Line Stray, who you've got a little bit lower, but clearly, wow, the 8, my favorite topic.
Yeah, it's as much, A, I think he's just a lot better than these horses. B, I don't think anything of these other horses.
Fair.
They've all kind of been playing with each other.
Big drop.
And, and this horse, this is the first time on Tapeta for Saffie Joseph Jr.
Yeah.
He ran okay off a long layoff on the turf last time. The Tapeta race for a quarter with a different trainer just buries this field, class-wise at least. So I'm just going to take the horse that should be a pretty stiff favorite and move on, because otherwise, I don't like your horse at all. Otherwise, I'm going on top at least. Otherwise, I'd want to be 6, 7 deep in here.
To be honest, I don't really like my horse either, but I feel like this is just a barn that's so hot right now, and I want to ride that. And we saw a lot of closers on the Tapeta yesterday in the last 100, 200 yards of the race. So maybe this is one that can. We'll look at the race here.
Yeah, because they're all here.
Yeah, that is the problem. It's like you could run it 7 different times and get a different outcome every single time here. Line Astray, this is just his jam, which is kind of coming from out of it, which I don't foresee the Tapeta changing like it was yesterday because the weather's still the same. And I think now the 2 path is not ideal here, and Carlos Teva doesn't typically reach out for Lionel Reyes, but at least he tried a little bit.
Yeah, didn't you just kind of feel like twofold here, like this horse was going to, should have, could have, would have went by on the barn switch last time, and Carlos
that's fair. So good off the claim.
31%, and he really, honestly, he didn't get an inch of improvement out of this horse. He's going to run the exact same race every time. To be fair and play devil's advocate, it was his first start out of the 2L ranks, and he didn't run poorly at all. But, looking for roses at 6 to 5, he's off the claim now for Gary Sobrati. We saw him have a horse off the claim yesterday for Saffie Joseph Jr. that honestly just got fried. So I don't really think that's fair to kind of be, it's not an indicative effort.
No.
They're just all there on the line. Whose turn is it? And so that's another reason why I'm going with a horse that wasn't out of that race.
Yeah, especially like Guildenstern. I mean, that horse, he should have won 3 back, and then Yeah, he's just there, but now you're off the claim for Carlos Narvaez, who's very good off the claim.
Absolutely. You got a couple 2L winners in the 5 charge off and the 3 pet mat, who
Yeah.
I think are looking up at these guys, but
They're coming off wins.
coming off wins.
Yep. Race 7, it's a good one. This could be a stakes race in itself here. It's a turf sprint, allowance optional claimers. Brian has the late pick 4. Let's see it.
Yeah, it's $12, and to be honest, I added lure him in race number 9 because I just didn't want to give out a $6 late pick 4. I get my value again with the long shot in the finale, and that is the 7 Spit the Bit, who I'm going to play for Antonio on a surface switch. It's a $12 late pick 4 ticket.
I like it. Okay, well, we'll get into this one here because it is a good one. We do have a scratch of the
Big scratch.
Yeah, big scratch of the 3 Irideo. It didn't really affect me. I was against him. But both of us on the 7, and You Wish. I'm glad you like this horse as well. Let's take a look at the replay. This was very impressive off of a long layoff.
Yeah, so here's what's going on here. He's the now horse, and I think that's a really big deal because these horses he's facing today, they haven't been the now horse in 6 or 8 months.
That's so true.
And he might be going places for Joe Orsino.
Yeah.
This was open company, too, by the way, and he's a Florida bred. And as Samantha said, that is off a almost 14-month layoff. They bet him like he was going to deliver. He did deliver. It was his first turf sprint.
Yep.
He's drawn absolutely perfect today. We get the best turf rider we have here in Edgar Zayas, and I think he's in a good spot. This is a way tougher group, admittedly, but I think he's supposed to move forward.
Let's look at a stat here for the Joe Orsino barn that I found. I thought was kind of a little bit interesting. Possibly, maybe. There we go. How about this?
Yeah,
It's interesting to me. I was shocked at this. Not a big sample.
Not a big sample. Couple things about that. I don't know how many horses in that sample, and I'm speculating, are as good as And You Wish. And I know one thing I do know for a fact is Joe probably wasn't rolling like he is right
That's
now
so true.
with
Yeah,
all
the
any
barn's
of
going
these.
great.
Yeah, I mean, come on, this barn has just been white hot, and this is an exciting horse today.
Well, we'll look at the replay of XY Speed and Biz Buzz. This is 2 starts back for XY Speed, and this is Biz Buzz's last race. Biz Buzz's.
Biz Buzz. Horsepower for DJ. There's a whole bunch of, there's a trip note race. Horsepower was good for DJ. So here's the stark reality of the situation. XY Speed is just not the dude we know as a multiple overnight stakes winner here at Gulfstream Park. He's still pretty good. Don't get me wrong. And his race still would play with anybody in here. I just feel like he's lost a little bit off the fastball.
Yeah, I agree. Last time out, I was very disappointed. But he's a 9-year-old. He's a big dude. You just never really know with these horses. I think the key here, and I know you do like Biz Buzz, but I really am against him today.
Well, I think he's a good flow horse because, yes, I'm Free is going. XY Speed is going to press him to the outside, especially with Amicio aboard. And I don't see a path to victory for either of those horses today.
Yeah, it's a good race.
It is a really good race.
It's very tough.
It's a very, very good race. And like you said, hey, Louis the Sun King, first time turf last time. He ran well behind Mattingly.
Yeah, and that was a huge race. So
Sure
I put him in my ticket. Yeah, it was really nice. Luca and Kathleen O'Connell, another barn who's just been running fantastic. Now, race number 8, it is 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta track here. These are claimers, $10,000 level. We have a clean field of 8 here. It doesn't get any easier from here. Wow, both of us on the 7. I'm kind of shocked at that.
No, he's the only horse you can pick, to me.
Is he? Okay.
I don't know. Look at all these horses. They just got blitzed by Sheila's Mission.
Fair.
And how are you going to separate? It's the same thing as the other race. I think it's race 6. How are you going to separate these horses? So what do? You take the newcomer. You take the fresh new face. Who I know EM's Treasure Girl is 3 for 25 with 17. Ooh, that is not my thing.
No,
17
but that's on
finishes.
the grass, so.
She's got to win. She's hit the board in all 3 Tapeta starts, including a win right here at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, she loves this Tapeta track, and obviously she loves to run 2nd and 3rd on the turf course here quite a bit. Now, you know what? I think I missed. No, I didn't. Just kidding. The 6, Miss San Gabriel, first off the claim here.
There are 8 horses in this race. 6 of them come out of the race where Sheila's Mission won by the
there was no
length of
point.
the
I
stretch.
couldn't show it because I didn't
There's
even
nothing
know.
to show.
Yeah, what do you show?
I'm going to show 6 horses getting drubbed. Now, Miss San Gabriel, Gustavo Guevara, okay, we don't know anything about this barn, but he's going to claim off George Weaver. Edgar Zayas is going to ride. That's something to me. This horse was absolutely dreadful last time at 2-1 behind Sheila's Mission, beating a football field. She's outside Misprint today.
Yeah.
Edgar's going to try to dole out the speed a little better. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, race 9. This is our Wildcat Red overnight handicap, 1 mile and a 16th. So we are at the short stretch finish line for this race, and what a race this is. We scratched the number 1 Uranium and the number 8 Northern Flame. I'm sure Awesome Train really likes that.
Yeah.
Moving in a little bit
Moving in
here.
a little
Yep.
bit, yeah.
The 6 Relampo Verde. This is Relampago Verde, pardon me.
Yeah.
Private purchase for Bobby DeBona from the McPeak barn.
Yep, Mike Ivarone jumps in here. This horse going to be a huge favorite, I think, because it's the fresh new face. You got some class at Fairgrounds at Oaklawn. Bobby, 24% with newcomers.
Yeah.
Mike Ivarone is involved now. They're going to hammer this horse. And, you know, we showed the replay in the lightning round yesterday. The one interesting thing about this horse, he's running at Fairgrounds. Oaklawn obviously a little different. He's running at Fairgrounds. That stretch at Fairgrounds is you know, ginormous.
Yeah.
This is a short stretch finish line out there. So that does put a little bit of a monkey wrench into the equation, but he's fast. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, that's the good thing with
Yeah.
him is he's going to be, you know, up and on it,
Yes.
which is a huge thing for this mile and a 16th race. It's a
Yeah.
short stretch. You
Have to
cannot.
be close.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't make up the ground. Doesn't work out. Lure him in. We'll look at the race at Churchill. Now, that was for $50,000 too, but Sam and Herm and the crew have done a fantastic job with this horse, and this was at the mile and a 16th.
You know, you could make a case with the exception of the favorite in here, the newcomer. Everybody else in here is better than anybody else in here today. And lure him in, still running. He's still firing. He loves it here.
Yep.
5 for 12 on the main track. Speed figure wise, regardless, thoroughgraphs, they're still right where he used to be.
Yes.
I mean, not used to be, but he's, well, boy, he's the only one to me if it's not the 6.
Yeah. Can you make a case for Awesome Train at all? Because just I looked at the thoroughgraphs earlier, and on the thoroughgraphs he's got a shot, but he hasn't picked up his feet.
He's got a shot because he's got big figures because he's always 5 deep on the turn.
That's fair.
That's
Yeah.
why you got to
Yeah.
sometimes, as I think the thoroughgraphs are better than anything, but sometimes you got to see through the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
That's his running style. So it's not like you're going to change things up today. He's going to do
No.
the same thing.
No, that's fair. Yeah, we've got a different rider for the first time, so that will be interesting. But yeah,
But how's he getting up at a short stretch?
Yeah,
for the start of the race?
that's the thing. Yeah, but horses are pack animals. Maybe he'll be in it. I think
Yeah.
the key to this race is playing against Super
Oh
Corinto.
boy, you're telling me.
Yeah.
You know, I had him as initially as my 3rd choice, and then I looked, and they don't even bet this horse anymore. And
No,
for
they're done with
Safi,
him,
for
yeah.
Pete's sakes, they're just done with him.
Yeah.
And he has not raised a foot since December 22nd of 2022. When I'll tell you what, looked like he was really going places.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I remember during the championship meet, I had asked Edgard about him, like, what is the deal with him? Because he breezes really
Yeah.
well, and it's just like he just doesn't show up. So I just think his best days may be behind him. He has not won since 2022.
Yeah.
That's a long time. So we'll take a pass on him, even though the connections make it look a little bit more enticing. Now the finale here, you got the get out race yesterday with the grass course, 1 mile and a 16, 17.5, same situation as yesterday. We have the scratch of the 3 Zen Air and the 5 Operation Thunderbolt, and as Brian mentioned right after the break, 9 Kryptonin is running.
Yeah,
not
just
a scratch.
Take
if you
note of that.
just
He's
got
running.
that early.
He's part of the field. He's part of the betting. All of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're in on that.
All right, spit the bit for you.
Well, I feel like on this 10-race card, we've got 5 or 6 races where you're allowed to just really try to
Go
have some
somewhere else.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? And so, you know, he hasn't tried turf before. Antonio Sano, no one's confusing him with, you know, a turf trainer. But he's actually 13% Tapeta to turf. It's not bad.
No.
I like the tactical speed. He's only run 4 times. You know, Uncle Mo's got some turf pedigree
Yeah,
in him.
absolutely.
Bernardini, not so much. But I feel like we should get a forward ride here from Jonathan Ocasio. And that, to me, at 10, 12, to 1, 15 to
bad.
1. I can string along with that.
Yeah.
You know,
I look. I
morning
don't.
line favorites out of the race.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. That makes a big difference. A Volatile Storm, I think, is very interesting now. Second off the trainer switch. They've gelded him since then, and I love the blinkers off move, especially from the rail. He ran a lot better than it looked last time, I felt like, for the level.
I'm fine with that.
We'll look at the replay, actually,
Well,
because
yeah, we
look at
got
it.
it.
Yeah, because I thought this really did look much better than it was. The rails are at 24 feet here in this race.
Well, right here, he's completely swallowed up, and he's going to be 9th.
Right.
So he's 4th, beating a length and a quarter. That's
It's
pretty
not
good.
bad. Yep.
Lauren Robson's been doing a lot of good things right. She brings Nantasket Beach up to Churchill and wins
Oh, man, it was awesome.
Salty Claimer up there.
Yeah. He still tried, yeah.
This horse actually, to me, I know technically now the 8 is a morning line favorite. This horse, to me, is now the one to beat because of his running style. The fact that the morning line favorite is out, he also took a whole heck of a lot of speed with him, too.
Yes, that's true.
That's a big deal, and that's not going to help the 8 Venezuelan Hope at all.
No, yeah, this is Venezuelan Hope. This horse here, he tries hard, but it's never enough at the end of the race.
Well, he's been ahead of 4 horses in his last 4 races at the half-mile point. That's not working out there.
No, it's not. The race in December. He tried so hard. I just am looking at that because that was the last time he was actually a little bit better.
Yeah.
Disregarding the Tampa race, but man, he's found his level now.
I guess, but
I hope.
listen, I know we're way better than Tampa. Don't get me wrong, and that's why I say that this is not a drop for this horse.
No, this is
And I know this is not the championship meet. I get all that, but 32 at Tampa, nobody there is going to come over here and be favored over here. So don't think this is a big drop for this horse at all.
No, that's 10 of them for us today on this Sunday afternoon. We'll take a look at the lightning round as we look back on yesterday with our 2 feature races. They were really, really exciting, and Tank just keeps on rolling, quite literally. We're going to go Starship. Okay.
Because she's the one I want to talk about.
Yeah, wow.
She's really good. I don't, I think we fade these horses, these speed horses elsewhere. She's really good right here. This race was over. She was literally 1 to 5 on the backstretch of this race. She just dragged them all around.
Yeah.
So good for Steve Dwoskin right now.
Awesome. He's done a really, really good job with this horse. She's just run very well, and he's put her in right spots. So that's why she's doing what she's doing, and it's nice. And the brother race to that, Tank. Both of these guys have now won 3 in a row. Is Tank 3 and she 3?
Tank.
Yeah, they're both 3.
Tank is 3 in a row.
Yep.
I was way wrong on Tank, and I was way wrong on the morning line too. They didn't really bet Classic, of course. I think he got second, but this was a definitive effort by Tank. I was admittedly really against him, and he made me look foolish, and he did it really nicely, too.
Yeah. It was never in doubt, really,
Never
with
in doubt.
him either.
No.
So it's very, very impressive. Now, the Tropical Turf Pick 3 kicks off the same race as the Rainbow Six today. Here, it's a great sequence. 5, 7, and 10, a fun one. And man, Brian, I looked yesterday, and I hope maybe your 10 horse got somebody home with the Coast to Coast. It paid $20,000 yesterday.
Oh boy, that's great. TT Pick 3 today. It ended the TT Pick 3 yesterday as well. The Coast to Coast.
Yeah, the Coast to Coast. I wanted to see what races those are in.
A good one. We'll see it right here.
Oh, okay, 9 and 10. All right, 5, 6, 7 from there. So yeah, it's what a great bet. Retail only, dollar minimum. Wow. Really good.
I like it.
All right, your best bet today.
Yeah, it's 68, my favorite topic for Safi. First time on the Tapeta for him.
All right, I lost my best bet. Your long shot?
Well, I'm going to try to do the same thing I did yesterday in the finale. Race number 10, it is the 7, Spit the Bit.
My long shot is not a long shot, guys. We can't even show it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, the Belmont. Yeah, I know, you're laughing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We'll take a look back at the stretch run here. Sovereignty, nobody was going to beat him yesterday.
Well, journalism was going to beat him by 3 lengths right here because I threw my tickets on the ground, and I was blown away, really, because this was the winning move. Journalism's going to win. He's going to be the best horse in the country, and like he was tied to a pole, went right by him. It was stunning to me. I really was, because journalism ran. Oh, and you asked me. You said after. I remember you said, "Is that a fast time?" It's.
Oh yeah, I have to.
Did you
yep.
see it?
Yes.
Only one of a handful of 1.25-mile races at Saratoga have been faster. Of course, Arrogate's Travers, obviously, but only a handful of races. So journalism ran. He just got run down again.
Yeah,
by
he
better
did.
horse.
Yep, but man, hats. Look, Bill Mott and they did a fantastic job with Sovereignty, but really hats off to Michael McCarthy and the Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners to show the gamesmanship and sportsmanship to run in all 3 races, a win, and a second. You have to give a golf clap. I think it's so good for the sport, and it made it very fun. And this is going to be a fun duo.
Yeah, he's got some work to do to get to. But these 3-year-olds, they mature by
They
every
do.
day.
Yeah.
And don't change the Triple Crown. The horse that ran in all 3 races won a race
Yep.
and ran second in the other 2.
Yep.
Don't
Yep.
change that.
Yeah. Exactly. It was great. The same exact try
As
in
the
the
Derby.
in the Belmont. So very fun and a very fun day here today. Come and join us. Enjoy the fantastic weather. Stay cool. Drink water. We've got Ron Out coming up for the opener, and we have Liam Molinaro, who has just been kicking butt and taking names upstairs.
Absolutely.
With scratches in the changes. Brian, we got a good day today.
We do. And we'll see Ronnie in the opener.